Boys, for the coming week, we have 4 monetary policy interest rate meetings this week. We are having FOMC on Wednesday. We are having SNB on Thursday, Bank of England on Thursday, and Bank of Japan on Friday. Check the pinned comment below. On the Bank of Japan thing is they might start intervene if it goes above 135 to the dollar. Now the question is it going to be one of these weeks you're going to see actual central bank intervention in the forex market? This is going to be very interesting. I expect this week becoming more risk off. We have FOMC, we have 50 pips, we have 50 basis point rate hike expectations. We are seeing on the SME that we are seeing every single meeting now, they're expecting 50 basis point rate hikes every single time, almost all the way up until December. And December might be somewhere between 25 and 50 basis points as well. And that will lead us to around 3 to 325 range by the end of the year. So a lot of interest rate is being priced in a dollar. The question is Fed going to, one, accept that is going to happen? Are they going to confirm that's going to happen? Are they going to be the ones even adding more expectations to the market, or are they just going to meet whatever the market has already priced in? What is another thing that is very important is that Beijing is currently experiencing a lot of COVID outbreaks. That means that we might see some more lockdowns in Beijing. Of course, CPI on Friday made dollar say poo to the moon, and we are expecting for this coming week that this is about to continue. Now we have seen a reversal, a pretty nice one there, and then if we are going into weekly for this upcoming week, what are you thinking generally? Well, we are generally needing a small pullback, and we might not even get the pullback, but you should be expecting a pullback because that is what you do. You buy support, not that resistance, and you're thinking, yeah, going up 360 or so, or 10380 or so, and then going higher. If this does not come down to 10380, well, that is a different case, right? But at least you are expecting this one to go up to 105, give or take, by the end of the week. Now, the question that you need to ask yourself, which pairs are you going to trade this week? I'm going to focus on Aussie dollar, I'm going to focus on euro dollar, I'm going to focus on Aussie yen, euro yen, New Zealand yen, and New Zealand dollar. Those 6 pairs are going to be what I'm going to focus on. I'm mostly going to focus on the dollar pairs, mostly because of the intervention that might come from Bank of Japan might create some volatility that I might not be ready for, right? And it might not come. So I don't want to be in the way of those movements coming into the daily, not weekly, sorry, coming into the daily on so the week on Aussie. We are seeing, okay, what is it? First of all, somebody said, but you only analyze from 1 hour. Here we are 4 hour, right? We can see that pretty clearly. We are bullish in this market. Sorry, market is bullish in here. Coming into here, okay, we have the same low that is turning into a range now, no higher high. Going lower, bearish, and then we go back up again, going down, bada bing, bada boom. That was the bearish sell. Now, going into next week, what do you expect? Clear and clear. Coming back up to resistance is the easiest and fastest and the most lazy part of just doing price action. Going back up to resistance, nothing in between. And the current target that we have for the next week is 69.40. Back down to these levels here. That is, I would say, a pretty good target. Not gonna budge that one. If we on Monday now, when the market opens, gets a pullback, I am not too sure we're going to have a very strong pullback. I don't think we will be up at 71.40. I think we might be at 70.80 and then fall maximally 71.20 before falling down to 64.40. For euro dollar, let's go up to the 4 hour again. What is this? Where are we? We saw a bullish trend here, which we bought. Woohoo! And then we went into a range. Boo! And then we are now going into what? Another bearish trend. And then, should we expect price coming back up to 106? No, not really. But we really should expect price to go at least 104 going on to the next week, even 103.50. And the reason for that is, one, we're having a very strong reaction of the Friday. Well, we have we have CPI making the market do a lot of moves, yes, but we also have the catalyst of FOMC taking the market another 100 pips on the move if they surprise the market. And if they surprise you negatively, this might go back up again. So you have to have a clear plan. What do you do? So, first of all, second of all, third of all, fifth of all, and all those above all. If you go over to monthlies, okay, what were your job? Where's your job? Johnson? Well, there was your sell. I didn't take it because I wasn't selling at that point. Okay, cool. Some of us did. Now, your overall target then is around 103. That should happen this week. And I don't think it would happen later this week, but I also think that if this is going to happen, it has to happen this week. Things has really deteriorated over the last week over macro data, so this is justified of it falling. But on the other side, you really don't want to be selling dollar at this point because it's rising pretty rapidly. So if you're thinking of, well, euro should go higher, you definitely need some kind of reversal, and I don't have that. I can't give it to you right now. Another thing that might be interesting coming into next week is what is really happening on COT so far. So far on COT, if you go to, for example, euro, hey, if I can just find it, that we are generally seeing profit taking. COT generally wasn't too crazy this week. It was okay. And the only thing that really was kind of that you can talk back home is that CAD and pound had more buys coming in, and euro was taking profit, and yen had more buys, and then dollar, Aussie, gold, and New Zealand didn't have much change relative to how many positions there was in the market. So euro right now, 103.50 is the target. Still, you're looking at this as resistance on the 4 hour at 106.20, and on the 1 hour you are seeing 106 as a resistance. The other thing is that, are you going to sell here? Probably not. Are you going to get that pullback? It's only if then. Okay, so pound. Am I going to trade pound? No, I'm not going to trade pound this week. The simple reason is, well, we are expecting the Bank of England to increase interest rate this week by 25 basis points, but the other because of inflation. But the other problem with Bank of England is Bank of England. So I don't like Bailey anymore. Just toss him out of the office. He's useless. Why is he useless? Because he says one thing and then in the meeting comes and does something totally different. So he has said in the past, we're going to have one rate hike in July, one rate hike in September, and then we're going to stop. And I'm like, but dude, things changes. So he can change his mind based upon whatever's happening in the market. So this can make pound doing whatever. Here, did they increase interest rates here? Or at some point they increased interest rates. It was either here or, here. They increased interest rate and market just fell. Why? Because their outlook for interest rate reduced. But the market wasn't prepared for that. So they have their own mind. Just let them be. Whatever their interest rate meeting, leave them alone. Okay? That is what I'm going to do. So there is no plan for pound this week. But if he goes down to 125, 122.50, okay, good girl, good boy, something like that. But you're not getting anything out of me on that because it's not in line with how I want to trade it, with the outlook that Bank of England has and I have, and we all have different opinions, and then I'm just going to have way better things to do. So New Zealand dollar, we sold that around 64.22 on Friday. Yoo-hoo! And this is our trading plan that I have on Friday. This is back up to this resistance, this is back up to this resistance, or this is back up to this resistance. My stop loss is around 64.90 level, like above here or so. Well, that's a very messy chart, isn't it? Yes. So let's go to 4 hour. 4 hour says this is resistance, and this is support. So around 60, 62, 80 is technically a support, but my target currently is 63.20 level. So we are, 30 pips away from that. Fair enough. The other thing that is also noteworthy for these upcoming days and weeks and whatever is 63.80. The reason why 63.80 is like, woohoo, great level, mate, is it is the local support that was last week, so that now it comes into this week. This might be the daily sell that you might be looking for, or if not, you are looking into 64.10. Those are the two prices that I'm looking for this week. I'm going to make your chart even easier to analyze and look into. So 63.80 and 64.14 is kind of those prices I'm looking for. I'm going to put a limit order on when I'm done with when the market is opening and everything else. Pound yen moved 200 pips on the Friday, mostly because of pound weakness and probably, I don't know, people not going to be trading when Bank of England has their interesting meeting, and yen some kind of strength. Now, there is a lot, we were talking with Joe around, what was it here? Price was around here. Market did not go higher and make a higher high. And 4 hour, did not make a higher high, but still went a bit higher. And it then fell over, I don't know, 200 or 300 pips. So this one is very dangerous to think that, wow, look at this candle's a normal candle. These candles has a lot of power. So if you're thinking that you should be buying or selling this one, you really have to have magnificent stop losses. I mean 300 pips. I mean above previous high. I mean to the moon. You know, you can just let this one set and let this one do its thing. And then we can discuss what to do on, when it starts settling out. Because it has moved a lot. And is moving a lot at the moment. It has a lot of volatility, way more volatility than normal. So if you're gonna try to day trade with 20 pips, you are gonna have a lot of stop losses now before you actually get the right hit. Now the question is, does your stop loss not exceed your profit? Well, that is going to be the big question for you upcoming week. But normal support and resistance will say that you should selling around 166.60. The other problem that I've already pointed out is that it is 200 pips up to the previous high. Is that something you want to do? Okay, cool. Do it. Aussie yen. Nice as a bird. A bird, yes, bird. So, first of all, this week we are expecting 92.15. Around there. Yeah, okay, I wasn't clear on that one, but good enough. We are expecting this one to continue falling until the end of June. So this week, next week, and the other week as well. Okay, so I think this move is going to be I hope, I pray that this is going to be a very elegant, just like click it. Just normal. I can't even do normal price action anymore. Please, somebody put me to bed. Something like that, okay? Normal price action, nothing crazy, mate. Just slowly going lower. Maybe some pause at some point, but still, I don't expect we are going to do anything crazy. So you can see 95 is perfect sell point. Or if you're going to be day trader, you're going to be like, well, I want to trade it a bit lower than that. I don't think it's going to go that high. I think that 80 is a good level that we already had on Friday. So the question is, where do you put your stop loss? Well, your stop loss should be above previous high always. That is already 36 46 pips already. So be aware, yen pairs has a lot of movements in them. So are you going to trade them? Depending on how you would like. It's the same thing in CAD yen. Another one that is just, pretty standard 105, going up, coming down. And then the other problem that I have here, though, is selling Canadian dollar. It's not necessarily my most favorite thing to do, but sure, yen goes stronger, and then we should go high lower. So that is 105. Stop loss above this one, 45 pips. Yeah, it's a decent one. Nothing fantastic or nothing like wow, but you try, take resistance, you try, and then you see if this one sticks or not. If not, you are thinking that 106.50. Oops, that was wrong tool. 106.50 around here could be your another plan B sell point. But still, so far so good. You have most things in your direction. USD yen is in a range. I would not trade this one, and you won't get a trading plan from me on this one, because I believe this one should not move, because the dollar strength and the yen strength, both of them should equalize each other and be basically range bound. Now, since you're seeing so strong uptrend, any break of 133 will be like, okay, cool, you can sell it. But you need to have a reversal. They need to take profit, and they need to show you that the market is actually going to go lower, and it doesn't at this moment. So, what is my outlook or my forecast is range more than anything else. Okay, cool. New Zealand, yeah. Another beauty. Yeah, we did. Didn't we do New Zealand yen? Yeah, we did New Zealand yen. I think we did. Well, if we didn't do it, I will just do it. 105. 85.60, 86, and then 86.40 is my sell levels. Going into next week, oil should be going higher, generally speaking. But that is the last point to buy more than anything else, and we can look for this one to continue higher. But there is an issue in and that method is because we have already been moving a lot so far. We have gone down to central, and we are kind of flattening out. So if this makes a new lower low below 116, that is the end of the buy trend more than anything else. Gold, I want it above 1870. Look at that on Friday. Well, that is still considered to be a range, and for those who bought there, whatever, okay, cool. But this is more than anything else volatility, liquidity grab, stop hunt, and irrational movements by the market more than anything else. So if you're thinking, well, this one should go higher, okay, so what do you think? Where should it go? That okay, maybe going up to 1900 as the first target, and then 1920 as the second target. The reason for that is just plain and simple, coming into resistance and coming into resistance more than anything else. Straightforward, nothing in between, just pure price action. And you also have to adapt to any market changes in gold that might lead to some other things. So then we have then we have S&P deteriorating in the market conditions. It's currently falling down, and I would also say to you, generally speaking, for this upcoming week, there is all of this is what the market is pricing in and is expecting of the G10 central bank rate hikes, and this is pricing ahead, and I think that is by the end of the year, if I'm not too wrong. So right now you're seeing most are thinking of increasing interest rates, except for Japanese yen in green here. Other than that, I think in the next live stream we're gonna give away $100. So make sure to be subscribed, because that's the only way you're gonna get notifications, and you will be eligible for that. So boom,